Hey everybody, welcome to Teensy Vintage. This is Teresa. Today we're working on a very tiny canvas. This is a piece of lightweight cardboard. It's an offcut from something else I made. I don't remember what, but it had a wonky side. So I'm going to cut off that side here with a little blade. This thing just didn't want to cut. Maybe I need a new blade. That's probably what it is. I actually ended up just using a pair of scissors to cut through that little thin piece that was left. Yeah, we'll fix that little cutter later. But yeah, now I've got a nice rectangle ready to go. I'm going to put a layer of gesso down. This is to, prime the surface basically. And also, I wanted to work with a white background instead of a brown background because it will make the colors pop a little more. All right, just using an old piece of junk mail there to spread that gesso around. You don't have to use a brush or anything special. You can literally just use a little tiny piece of trash. You can use your fingers, whatever you need, whatever you have on hand. I get this junk mail all the time with these fake cards that make you think you have to open the envelope, and then of course it's just a card saying, "Hey, get our card." Okay. Anyway, they make great art tools. So I'm gonna try some new, to me, items. These are infusions from Paper Artsy. One's green called Emerald Isle, and one's blue called Royal Blood. And these are walnut stains. I'm gonna use the green one first, and it is really green. It's beautiful. This color is amazing. Um, really varied, and you can see there I've got a little bit of clumping happening with the powder. This is my first time using this one, so it's a bit of a learning process here. This one, the blue one, I decide, you know what, I'm going to just get a little palette knife tool and I'm going to see if I can put it on that way, if that makes a difference. And no, it doesn't. It clumps up that way too. So my advice is to sprinkle, I think, would be the best way to apply it. And you'll probably get better results that way. Also, this blue one came out more brown than blue. So it was really heavy on the walnut color, which, duh, it's a walnut stain, of course. But I was hoping there'd be a little more blue, kind of like there was in the green. Maybe I didn't shake the powder enough. I don't know. So the jury's still out on this one. I'm going to use it again in something else to see what I can get. But, brown and green, that's fine. Nature does brown and green, so can we. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of Distress Spritz in aged patina. This is a newer product from Tim Holtz. It has some mica powder in it that gives it this nice shimmer. Once I finally get the darn bottle open, I'm going to add a few sprays here. Just 3. If you're ever not sure where to spray or what to spray, just put 3 marks and usually it will look just fine. I add a little bit of water here to get it to run around on my substrate, and I've decided, it needs more. So I picked up some Liquitex acrylic ink, and boy howdy, that lid was on. So once I got the top unscrewed, I added, this is Turquoise Deep, added some drops of that, and I'm going to add a little bit of water as well. And then I'm also going to use this tool. Now, this is not a tool I've used before. A lot of people use this little air blower with with alcohol inks to get them to move around on the Yupo paper or whatever substrate they're using. I was like, well, surely that would work with regular ink too, right? I mean, I know it's not as runny, but if I add a little water, that could work, and it totally did. It gave these amazing splatter looks on the canvas, and it just looks so cool. I was really happy with how that turned out. So here I am, I'm adding some more of the aged patina shimmer spray. I'm going to add a little water, and now I'm just going to move that ink around with the little tiny blower tool. I want to call it a mini bellows, but I think it's not. I don't know. I'm old-fashioned. Anyway, it's really hard to see the shimmer on the video, but in person, of course, you can see it really well. And there's some still photographs at the very end of the video that show close-ups of this, and you can see the iridescence there too. All right, this has come together really beautifully, but I'm like, it needs something. And before I put a focal on it, like I already pretty sure what focal I want to use. I'm like, it needs one more little something. So I picked up the yellow medium Azo from Liquitex and just put it right there in the center. And I'm using the blower tool to spread that ink around in a splashy kind of way. Splashy! And we're going to make sure that is completely dry. And this little piece turned out so cool. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I remembered I had that little blower tool. I got that on clearance at the craft store like a year ago and haven't used it. Oops. Anywho, now we're going to get a little bit of Payne's Gray acrylic paint, and I'm using a cosmetic sponge to go around the edges because this piece has white and or cardboard colored edges, and I wanted them to all be uniform and to look, you know, a little zhuzhed. So yeah, and I think it just frames it very nicely. So yeah, now we've got our background done. There is a particular paper doll, and I'm pretty sure he's in the Halloween set, and he is. There he is. It's the cranky old man. We all love him. He was perfect for this because I'd already picked out my sentiment. I had made a collage in another journal with book pages in my previous video, and I happened to come across a particular sentence, and it just made me laugh. And I said, you know what? I'm using that. So here we go. I found the old man, and he's going to be the cranky old man. Here I'm doing something a little weird. So the substrate was bowing because it had a lot of media on one side. So I spritzed the back with just a little bit of water and completely dried it, and it flattened back out. Yay! So now my background is flat and I can glue the little old man to it and he won't be in a weird position. So there's that little piece of book page I had left, and I'm going to cut out my sentiment. Everything seemed to rub him the wrong way. I was like, that's perfect. Crabby guy, crabby sentiment. Ha ha. And yeah, so I ended up cutting out almost all the words individually. Excuse me. I'm going to add a little bit of distress ink and vintage photo just to age those words a little bit. I didn't want the text to stand out too much. So I just gave a very light coat with the ink. I'm going to glue the paper doll guy down with art glitter glue, and then I'm going to use a glue stick to glue the little pieces of text that I've cut out. Just because I find it's easy to just kind of run them with your finger across the top of the glue stick, and then you can just literally put them down on the page and they stick. Yeah, this little piece came together very nicely. I'm really happy with how my experiment turned out with the little blower. I am going to use the Paper Artsy Infusions in blue on something else because surely there's got to be some blue in there somewhere. It can't just all be brown. Um, anyway, we'll find that out together. Thanks again for watching. As always, please remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Instagram account. I always post whatever it is that I'm working on. There's a still image of it over there. So if you've got to know what's coming up soon, 99.9% of the time, it'll be on Instagram. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.